Okay, so I am now gonna hit this Swampcalla Shaman with his pop grot. Let's just get on with it then, because hopefully this will be an easier build than the last one, and there won't be any hideous little gaps in the miniature. Which, as we saw with the last one that I did, the Imperaton, just felt like there was too many gaps due to it being a push fit. I love Shamans. I hope this is not going to be how it ends up with this one. So we start off and we pop out 1 and 2. I like this big scully cloak that he's got. I like this. In appearance, it looks very fierce. Shamans have been a mainstay of my orc armies, my orky armies, since I got my first orc force. Gosh, all those years ago, a good 20 years when I first started collecting anything orc based. Now, obviously, I know these are orcs instead of orcs, but we know they are exactly what they appear to be. They're an orcoid race. And one thing that I'm absolutely loving is Shamans, and I always will love my Shamans. I think they're just so full of character. And they really do make an Orc army what they are. Now, I'd love to see what kind of spells they have as well. So basically, you've got the 8 winds of magic, but obviously within each faction, you're going to have specialized magic. One of my favorite things about the old orcs was their like kind of foot of Gork spells, where you just basically have a great shaman crunch, put a huge foot down on the enemy. They were so funny. I need to check all the rules, you see, because things like animosity, I wonder if animosity still exists within orc armies. That if you don't know what that was like the bane of every orc player, basically, where every single game you had to constantly roll. Every turn you had to roll to see if your boys would get bored of fighting the enemy and would fight each other instead. Completely crazy. So much fun. Completely crazy. And then you add trolls, going completely stupid. You had to make sure that you put leadership with them, high leadership near them, so that they could feed off that instead. It was always an important process, really, as an orc player, to plan where you would put each troop type. There was nothing so much fun as two orc units charging each other. So, of course, I'm curious about if that mechanism exists in Age of Sigmar, and if it does, how that mechanism plays out, or, it doesn't feel like it's something that happens, though. It doesn't feel like it would be something that would carry over. All right. This number 3 piece here. Again, this guy's got so many layers of clothing on him. So I think it's going to be important when I do this guy, particularly when I'm painting him, because I'm going for a tartan paint scheme on any characters to make them stand out. So they've got the purple that I've gone for, but then they've got a tartan effect. Not a beautiful, well thought out tartan. It's, you know, it's not. I'm not trying to emulate anything really good. Right, be careful with this one. It's got a weird positioning, kind of fans outwards like that by the look of it as it slides in. Just gonna dab a bit of glue there to help it secure. Right, so right then, I like it's got a nice he's got a nice totem. This guy has. I like this totem. Yeah. Oh gosh. Definitely one of those little bits where you have to be careful. It's so easy to snap them. I found that out with one of the Cruel Boy boss's helmets. Like, knocked him over, and then that was it. The part of the horn plinked off, and I've not found it since. I'm hoping I can find it and fix it up, but yeah, you gotta be careful. Right, okay, so 3 points, so they're kind of going to slide in here. I feel worried. This is where these push fit models end up with horrible gaps where, you know, if you get the glue in the wrong place or too much glue on, you can end up having gaps, and I'm trying to avoid that, particularly with shamans, because I love them. Right, go in. Ow, 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 ow. Curse you, push fit models. See, right there. No, don't you dare have a gap. I don't want a gap. I don't like this. I don't like gaps. I'm gonna remove this, and I'm not gonna accept unless it's perfect. It's simple. It goes on perfect, this thing. Right. This is gonna go in perfectly. I refuse to have any imperfection on this model. So it pushes in and then it springs back out again, and I don't like it. And it's not like you can push endlessly because they're so sharp and they've got so many brittle parts to them. Yes, I've got it. Good, managed to, slight little one there, but I can live with that. There's no major gaps. Could also fill that with green stuff later on. That last little area of annoyance. Okay. And then we've got 5 and 6 to go together now. So 6 is this little ragged cloak bit. Yeah, the layers of clothing that this guy's got on, it's going to have to be very carefully done. Gosh, these have got very easy to break little plastic bits. Do be careful when you're cleaning them up. They must snap that bit off. Now don't get me wrong, I've got this stuff called water gel, and I could recreate that using clear liquid if I wanted to. And then paint the clear liquid and it would create a very lovely gloopy effect. In fact, what I might do is I might actually coat it with water gel. It creates some beautiful effects. So I might put the water gel on it. So you paint one, you roll the water gel over it, and then what you do after that is you kind of paint it while it's still slightly wet so that the paint gets into the water gel. It's AK water gel. I like the stuff, it's really useful. Okay, so the five piece looks like it threads slightly through the 6. So it looks like the 6 goes on first. Looks like, can you see? So there's like a little indent right deep inside there. So I'm going to try and get that one in first. Slide that one in. And then this one looks like it pops. Yeah, that side. Oh, good. That goes in quite neat as well. There we go. They pop next to each other. Nice. Looking good. I like this. Not that bad for a push fit. Number 7 is head. There's no alternative head, unfortunately, which would have been nice. But I can live with that. He looked cool. I wish I had my very old Orc Shaman from Fantasy to show you, but he's like really this cruel boy, although not as chunky and beefy, he really calls back to that model in so many ways. So it's very lovely to see that, you know, even with the new Cruel Boy aesthetic, they've honoured certain, you know, old school feelings about Orc Shamans, particularly the... Oh my god, that's sharp. Oh, that was sharp. Oh, that was so sharp I actually cut myself. My goodness. Gosh, watch out with this guy. He's a really sharp one. Look at that. I actually dug in and cut myself properly on him. Just trying to stop this moment where it's bounced, you know, like it's kind of the head's coming back outwards, which I don't like. It's not the worst cut I've ever done, but, you know, yeah. Ow, man. Thought we were friends. Okay, I said I like shamans. Why did you hurt me? Yeah. See, I'm a bit worried that he's bouncing outwards now. Like, now that he's almost built, I'm getting some separation. You can see there. Oh, you're a sharp guy, aren't you? You're a sharp sod. It really, I've got the magazine next to me here. I'm glad I didn't get any blood on the magazine. See, this thing, I suppose one way to put it is I feel plastic doesn't. Right, I'm going to pop him on his base now. And then that's that part done, and I can build his little pot grot. So, you know, he's going to look hopefully quite good. Again, look, push fit. Why are you giving us push fit at this stage, Games Workshop? Look at this. Because, you know, you can think that you've built them perfectly and they just bounce back. I said I can fix that in some ways. I can add a bit of green stuff, but, you know, I don't like the size of that. Okay, let's build his little pot grot now. So, pot grot. Sandwich a pot grot between the rack and his front. This should be nice and simple then. It's just, so we got 12, 13 and 9. Okay. Oh, oddly enough, the magazine doesn't actually number them. So 12, 13 and 9. Ooh. He's got very small features, this little pot grot. Right, so let's have a look here. So obviously you got the back of this little guy. Quite frankly, he just kind of slides onto his head. Okay, like that, and then obviously let's have a look carefully here. His back has this kind of set of goodies on it. Poor Grot's forever forced to carry the burden of the orc. Come on. Get that glue to separate a bit more. To dry out a bit. It's very irritating with these push fit. You push in and then it just bounces back out again. Okay, and then finally we just need 10 and 11 to complete this, whatever bubbling away in this part basically. Oh, I hate it when things go pink. So I keep my work area as clean as possible so that whatever's happening, I can find things when they kind of pop off. Stir the pot, little grat. Knocked everything there. Right, quite fiddly this guy. Look, again, push fits. They just, I don't like push fits, and this is why. They just, you can try your best and you can follow all the instructions, but it's just the logic of a spring. You know, every time that the model is going to bounce off itself. You know, little bits of trapped air, things like that. All these things add up. Right then, but there we go. So there is our Shaman and Popgrat. I like them. Still love the models, even though they're push fit. I think they look really cool. As I said, he looks very dangerous. I like the look of him, and there's definitely a feeling that he's you know, gonna cook up some badness for the battle. Just be nice if I could just stop that from springing out. I'll keep pushing that every now and then, seeing if I can lock it up. There we go then. Complete with blood, Popgrat, and Swampcalla Shaman.